Hello everybody, once again, welcome back to the junkyard. You'll notice that we don't have our normal Honda Civic today, but we have our Toyota Prado. Today's agenda will be some front shock replacements. Recently went to the mechanic, he said, hey, your front shock's blown. Here's a bill for like $700, $800 or so. I said, Bought these bad boys for like $200. There's some Gabriel Ultra shocks. I don't know who Gabriel is, but he makes shocks apparently, and they're like $200. So that is today's agenda. It should be fairly simple. We just got to whip out our front shocks. We got to buzz off the top hat and then transfer the coil and top hat onto these guys, throw them straight back in, and that'll be job done. So without further ado, we got to jump to it. Also, for those of you following along at home, you're going to need a set of these bad boys because we have to compress the spring so we're able to buzz that top hat off. Otherwise, they're essentially just going to go oof. So cop yourself a set of these bad boys. Back to the video. Okay, we've jacked the car up. We've got the wheel off. You'll notice I'm sweating profusely, and that's just a testament to my dedication to you guys. It is also a testament to how unfit I am. Anyway, our plan of attack here is quite simple. But first off, you'll notice how dirty this shock is. That is not just the usual dirt and grime that you'll get off the road. That is a blown shock. You'll notice it's quite oily. The dirt sticks right to it. That's all come out of the shock. That's blown. The plan is take off our sway bar links because that gives us a bit more room to play. You've got 3 nuts up the top. You've got 2 in front and 1 behind. The one behind is the hardest to get to by far. And we have 1 nut and bolt on the lower control arm down there. I'm the one who put these ones in. I can't quite remember if that's all. There might be another step, but as far as I'm aware, knock that off, knock those off, and that bottom one, and it should pull out, and then we can go ahead and rebuild onto our new shocks over there. So it should be fairly simple. I can't imagine this being too hard, but as always, knock on wood because you never know what can go wrong. And for reference, the car we're working on is a Toyota Prado. And before you jump in the comments going, a Prado isn't a real Land Cruiser. Get a real car. I drive a Honda Civic. Do you think I care, man? And in today's economy, I don't want a V8, dude. That thing's gonna suck my fuel or diesel, just gone. This thing's bad enough as it is. I don't need more cylinders, man. So relax, okay? Relax. So now is the exciting fun time where you get to watch me suffer. I'm just gonna yank as hard as I can, really. All right, and the back one. From memory, this was the hardest one, but because I've done it once before, it's not so bad. I really shouldn't be touching my camera with my dirty hands, but that's okay. Everything's disconnected except for our lower control arm. Disconnecting that will give us more leverage to pry out our coil strut, whatever you want to call it. So by the looks on here, we have, I believe it's 2 19 bolts. There's one here and one on the other side. And if you do that, it will sort of come down as a whole piece. So I'm gonna try that and we'll see how we go. Alrighty, I took off our sort of mount for our sway bar bush. So now we have a lot more room, which means I should be able to just shift this around and get it out somehow. Oh, where's the camera? Lovely. All right, that is one shock out, ready to go. I need to recharge my camera, then we're gonna go ahead and rebuild. Okay, now is the time where we're gonna compress our spring and transfer it over to our new strut. I've already done all of this, except my microphone wasn't recording. This was the blown one. As you can see, the oil is everywhere over the strut. So this thing is gone. Yeah, now we're going to, well, essentially do it again. This time I'm gonna show you with audio. The best way to do this, safely that is to go give it to your mechanic so he can do it. The second safest way to do this is to have your wheel on standby, just in case. Unfortunately, I don't know anyone named Will, so
I'm a fun guy.
we're just gonna have to cross our fingers and hope for the best. All seriousness, the safest way is probably to keep it pointed away from your body, so if it does explode, it doesn't break your ribs. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab our guys right here. We're going to clamp onto the spring on either side of the spring, and we're gonna slowly squeeze each side down one by one. Once that's nice and loose, we can buzz off the top nut and then simply pull out our strut and transfer onto the new one. Ignore the leaky hose. It is quite possibly the worst hose I've ever bought. You can see we've got wobble now. That shows us the spring is compressed enough. So now what we're going to do is just buzz off the top nut, and then we can slide. The top hat's probably going to stick to the spring. It's going to be jammed in there. So we just need to slide out through the back, and we can slide our new stuff just back in. And if you're doing this without compressing your springs, if you buzz this top hat off, it's going to launch everything out everywhere. So that's why we compress the springs. Fingers crossed that this works. There we go. Now that's done, everything should just pull out like so. There we go. Yeah, so this one's not blown. This one's actually fine, but you sort of need to replace both at the same time. This is our blown one. If I go compress it, it just gets stuck and it doesn't extend the full way. This one is for the bin. Now we're ready to throw in our new shock. Everything's already preset, so you don't have to take any of these rubbers off. You can just shove them straight back. We're lucky nothing will fall off, and it'll just pretty much slide back into place. Now the major thing we need to do, we're ready. We just have to separate the top hat so we can direct it to sit in the right place. Because on our car we need to align the bottom to be straight, and then have this the two studs need to be dead on with the third one on the back, so it sort of sits on top like that. So we have to do a bit of readjusting on the base here and on the top hat. Once that's all done, then we can pretty much bolt everything together and throw it back in the car. Throw our spring on like so. So just when rebuilding them, it's not a complete flat bottom, so you've got to line up the end of the spring with that little divot. Same with the top hat. We had to rotate it slightly to match, because we want this guy facing forward along with the two, I guess, studs on the upright. That way it all slides in, it's all facing the right way. So that is one rebuilt shock. Which is kind of disappointing because these guys probably didn't even last 6 months. And because I'm not like a registered mechanic or a licensed part changer, they wouldn't give me warranty. So thanks, Raw Nitro, whoever makes them. That's awesome. Anyway, time to throw it back in, button it up, and then we're pretty much done. All right, now we have our assembled strut ready to go back in. Also, I know nothing about like full drive parts. So if you're sitting there going, why did he get Gabriel? Why not Dobson's? Blah blah blah. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just changing parts, man. All right, like, relax. Okay, the easiest way I found last time is keeping one foot on the lower control arm to like push it down, so I can get this up with enough space to throw it up, and then you button up from there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this is somewhat easy, because getting it out wasn't too bad, but I have no idea what it's like going back in. So let's find out, shall we?
5 hours later.
I don't know where this grease came from, but I got a healthy dosing of it. Where on earth did that come from? The lower ball joint is leaking, I think. Not the end of the world at the current moment. That's all right. Oh, this is just the last bit of getting stuff in. Getting the strut out, I crushed the tip of my finger and I split my nail in half. by wedging it between the control line and the hub, and it snapped back. So that hurt. Getting this thing back in, apparently I don't learn from mistakes. So I did the exact same thing and my finger got jammed. So, you know, it just makes me so happy working on cars. It's always fun. There's never any downside ever whatsoever. I'm having a great time, guys. Oh, far out. I'll tell you, I am absolutely pooped. I'm done. I've had enough. Fortunately, everything is nice and buttoned up. It's an absolute pain trying to get everything together, especially this sway bar link. That is awful to do. I hate doing it. But happy days. Hopefully at least one person learnt something. Otherwise, I wasted all my time. I'm gonna throw this wheel on, get down the ground, and that's probably gonna do us for today. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'll get more Civic content out soon. I think I have 490 something subs, so thank you very much. Editing magic, put it there. Remember, at 1,000 subs, I'll drive a car through a brick wall, so click that subscribe button. Thank you, appreciate it. I'll catch you next time. See ya.